bytes of memory space. Now you want to buy one more type, landline mobile you want to buy. Landline is nothing but in olden days we used to have in houses the landline you want to buy. You will take some k bytes of memory space and it is k bytes of k amount, and it is taking something like d bytes of memory space is taking. So in general, if you want to buy these many number of components, if you want to put it in one bag, it will take lot of space. It will take lot of space, and it will take lot of amount of rupees also. Lot of amount of rupees also it will be taken at. So it is taking lot of memory space is taking plus lot of money also taking up. So how you can avoid in present situation in modern world, how you can do it? All these things, all the things can be obtained by simply one simple component called what? Hmm, mobile. You will buy. You will buy. What component? Mobile you will buy. This is called one simple component. Mobile is called one simple component. This can act as, it is mobile is one only. It acts as what? It acts as what here? Come on, fast. Calculator. Calculator. Next is called what? It is acting as a wristwatch. It is acting as a wristwatch. Plus next is acting as what? Torchlight. It is working like a torchlight. It is working like a mobile also. It working like a calling the people also. So that one object which will take some x bytes of memory space, a bytes of memory space, is fulfilling these many number of advantages. Which is the better one to go for it always? This is nothing but buying the mobile is always best compared to buying these many number of things. So what is our conclusion now? What is our mobile is called? One. It is called one form. It is called one form. Acts as what? This is acts as what? Multiple forms. It is acting like a multiple forms. One form, one component acting like a multiple components. How much memory space is taken? How much memory space is taking? Less memory space is taking here. It is taking almost how much memory space? Very less memory space is taking. That is the best advantage of what? Polymorphism. What is the polymorphism definition? The polymorphism is one of the excellent it is called outstanding performance of OOPS applications will be coming from polymorphism. What is the definition of polymorphism? The process of defining, the process of defining one form, one form in the process of defining one form in multiple forms is called what? Polymorphism. Is called polymorphism. In your colleges, they'll say poly plus morphism. Poly means something, morphism means something, something they will say. But the actual meaning of polymorphism is the process of representing one form in multiple forms is called what? Polymorphism. Because of this rule, because of this policy, we are going to get very less memory space is represented. Very less memory space application takes. Very less memory space application takes. This is what is the purpose of going for the polymorphism. Here, mobile is one only, but used in how many forms? Multiple forms. Instead of taking these many number of objects, taking lot of memory space. Here, how much memory space? A plus B plus C D memory space is taken. This is a very big memory space, but here it is taking what? Single memory space is taken and representing this many number of things. In another way, you take another example. Suppose you are X. You are called X. You are called an object. When you are sitting in my class, sitting in my class, sitting in the class, who are you? That time you are a student. When you are going to a movie, going to a movie, you are going to a movie. You are called what? Audience. You are an audience. You are going to a stadium. You are going to a stadium. You are called what? You are called what? Player. You are called a player. You are going to a shop. You are going to a shop. You are called a customer. You are called a customer. How many you are? You are one, you are four, one, four. Hmm? One only. The one person is representing in how many forms? Multiple forms. Here student behavior, here an audience behavior, here is a player behavior, here is called what? Customer behavior. Here it is a student behavior, audience behavior, player behavior, customer behavior. These many number of activities will be there for one person called X. That means one object is represented in how many forms? Multiple forms. Take one more example. Take one more example. Online students, are you able to follow? I'm going to the coding directly. Instead of directly coding, first you need to know why this principle is. Because this principle is coming in all the object oriented programming. Take one more example. Take one example. Suppose you want a red pen. Red pen you want. And a red refill pen you want. Red refill pen you want. Red refill pen you want. What you will do? You will buy what pen? Red pen you will buy, right? You want next green ink pen you want. Again, you will buy separate pen. Blue ink you want, blue pen. Yellow ink pen you want, you will buy. Correct. But in your childhood days, you are taking red pen, you are taking green pen, you are taking some other kind of pen, you are taking some yellow pen, and you are going to take it something like yellow, and something like you are taking blue. These are all called what? I'm not taking separate pens. I'm not buying separate pens. If I'm taking separate pens, my geometry box is full of pens only. What I will do? In your childhood days, you might be purchased this pen also. It is having multiple refills inside. You are having on the cap, you are having multiple, all the sides some pen is there. You use that pen or not? So that days only you know polymorphism. So this you will keep it in the geometry box. This will take less memory space. Second one will take less memory space. Second one. This is called one pen contains how many refills? Multiple refills are available. This is called what? One in many forms. Which one will take less memory space? One pen with multiple refills will take less memory space. Are you able to follow? So I'm going to conclude my sentences. Polymorphism purpose is always taking what memory space? Least memory space is taken. So I already said to you, non-inheritance will take more memory space. Inheritance will take less memory space, and polymorphism will take least memory space. So straightforward will come to this polymorphism only. Polymorphism uses inheritance. Inheritance uses what? Classes and object. You will come to know that example. But how do you implement this polymorphism? And moreover, you will understand what is meant by one form, what do you mean by this multiple forms. That also I will explain to you. One form meaning is what, multiple form meaning is what, and what do you mean by form also I will explain. Because these words also I need to give you perfect clarity here. What do you mean by one form? What do you mean by multiple forms? And what do you mean by form? In order to implement this polymorphism, we will use it two programming concepts in Python to implement polymorphism. There are two approaches are available, number one and number two. The first one I am using, number one is called method overriding. Method overriding. I am going to use it. Second one is called what? Constructor overriding. Constructor overriding. We are going to use it. Constructor overriding, we are going to use it. One is a method overriding. One more is called constructor overriding. I am going to use it. What is method overriding? What is constructor overriding? I will explain to you. So these are the two implementation concepts in Python for implementing this polymorphism. Suppose if you go to Java, you are going to use it what? Number one, method overriding there also. Method overriding there also. Second is called what? Method overloading also we are using. because it is a compiler based language. It is an interpretation based programming. Only overriding is there, overloading is not there. I said the reason also because we are having variable arguments concept is available. So Java is a different, Python is going to be different. Only overriding concept, only implementing which concept? Polymorphism concept. So I'm going to tell you about, I'm ready to write the polymorphism example. To develop any polymorphism example, you must know about what? Method overriding and constructor overriding. So let me go to the method overriding here. What is this method overriding is? So separately I want to explain here. So let us go to this place. I am going to tell about method overriding. So I'm going to define method overriding is equal to method heading is same. Method heading is same. It is nothing but function heading is same plus method body is different. That is a function body is different. What is the method heading? Can anybody can say? What is the method heading? What is the function heading? Have you heard about in my class anytime? You heard about it or not? గుర్తులేదు. What is that function heading? What is the function heading, Babu? Madhu Babu. DEF function name list of formal parameters colon. This is known as what? Heading. Heading. Colon left side entire thing is called heading. And then body, doc string, formal parameters, usage, everything. This is called what? Body. This is called a function body. This is called a function body. ఒకసారి చూపిస్తాను మీకు ఎక్కడ చెప్పాము. 11 under that functions here, under that notes here, under that syntax for function definition, there I said to you function heading here, function heading and function body. Today we call it as a method heading and today we call it as a method body. Method heading, method body. So method heading is same, method heading is same, method body is different. Method body is different. This is known as what? Method overriding. Constructor overriding also. Constructor heading is same, constructor body is different. So I'm going to enter into this policy. If we want to use a method overriding, if you want to use it, constructor overriding, if you want to use it, you have to use inheritance principle. Inheritance principle. Let me go for an example here. I'm going to use as an example. Online students, I will go to an example. Go to the PyCharm now. Go to the PyCharm here. So there I'm going to write it. Method heading is same. Method body is different. These two things, if you understand, programming will become easy for you. So I will go to this location. Close this project. Go to this place. Here I'm going to take up. These are all called previous programs are called inheritance programs. To that I am adding today the another last principle of OOPS. Polymorphism I am going to apply. What the polymorphism concept says, here I am going to write it. Polymorphism example 1.py. So let us take one example. I will open it once. Which program it is? Non-inheritance PROC1.py. Did you remember this? This is called a class C1 separate, C2 separate, C3 separate. Display 1, display 2, display 3. This is called a non-inheritance. Okay. Inheritance number 2.py. You see there, here how many objects are there? 6. 3 objects plus 3 methods. Totally 6. Here how many? Only 4. 4 means what? 3 classes. Out of that only one class I will take it. Which class it is? Bottommost class. And 3 methods I am calling. So which one is earlier 6 objects? Here it is called only 4. Definitely, inheritance based application is called a definitely what memory space? Less memory space. Today, I am converting this inheritance program through which program? Polymorphism I am going to convert. Polymorphism I am going to convert. This polymorphism will take what? Only two objects it will take. Not taking four objects, five objects, six objects, it will not take. How it is going to be? Now I'm going to write it. Look at that class C1, class C1. There I'm going to write it. DEF display, display 1. Today I'm taking display. Here I'm going to write it C1. Here I'm going to write it C1 display. It is my function. This is a function defined by me. Generally, students will think sometimes overriding means what? In the same class, you cannot do overriding. In the same class, you cannot do overriding. Display. You cannot write like this. You cannot write like this. Suppose if I write it C1 display, second I am writing. Second. This is called what first, for example. This is called first. If I'm going to run my code, this is not a method overriding, students. What some people will think about it. In this case, what I'm doing, O1 is equal to C1 of I'm saying O1 dot what? Display, if we say, which one will execute? Can anybody can answer? Latest one will execute. Already I said to you, latest one, because already it is an interpretation process. I already said to you. What is the answer is coming? Second is coming. Latest one will execute. This will not be executing. This will not be executing. Here, this will not be executing. Latest one only will get execute first. So how can you call the second of this one? It is not at all possible. That's why overriding heading is same and body is different. This should not be taken place in the same place. It should not be taken place in the same place. What I'm going to do? Remove that. If you want to override, compulsory you require another class inheritance is required. Now I'm going to write a class C2 of what I'm saying C1. C1. There I'm going to write pass. Here I'm writing this is the method which is defined by me first time. So I'm writing here original. This is known as which method I am going to write? Original method. For your understanding purpose I'm taking. Original method I am going to take. When you are going to take C2 here, what is happening? O2 is equal to C2 off. Because of that, what is coming? This display method, as it is coming to which class? C2 class. What is that now? O2 dot what here? Display. What is an answer is coming? Whatever the method was defined here, that method is coming into which class? C2 class. But it was having what? C1 display. It is coming in C2 as it is. This is not going to be recommended. What I'm going to take up now, this is going to be the symbol arrow up that indicates this will be removed. This will be rolled back and you are going to provide the new body here. What is the new body? I'm going to write it P2 C2 class display method. What I'm doing? Overriding, overridden. I'm going to write it overridden. I will take immediately next example. First, you try to understand. What is the use of this method overriding when I'm trying to do like this? Start. This is known as which method? Overridden method. How internally executes, I will tell you. Tell me now. O2 dot display. What is the flow of execution? Display method called with respect to O2. O2 is an object of C2. Control goes to C2. Looking for what? Display. What is happening in display? This display. There are two displays are there. One is called base class display. One more is called a derived class display. But this is not a new method, sir. These are called what? Earlier I took it display 1 and display 2 I took it. But I'm taking what today? Same method. Which method will be given preference? Overridden method. Why it is overridden method? Earlier previous class method heading is same. Its body is different. It is the overridden method. It was the first time defined is called which method? Original method. So I'm overriding here. So auto.display, this will be the output which is coming. This will be the output which is coming. And how this is going to be useful to us, in what way it is going to be less memory space always. Whenever you call voto.display, it will go to C2 class looking for this method getting executed. Internally, it is going to create some memory space for vote display. It is getting executed. Now I got it. Now I want to call base class display method also I want to call. How do you call base class display method? Earlier, how I was called? Earlier, how I was called yesterday? Parent property, child property. How I was called? Muddu. ఎందుకా మీరు? So coming to this place, how I was called this one? Self dot get parent property, self dot child property I already called. Seventh one you see, self dot, all those kind of things I called it. Self dot, all those things I called. If you remember that, self dot grandparent property, self dot what, child property, all those things I called. Similarly, I want to today. Which one I want to call it? Which one I want to call it? Muddu, come on. Which one I want to call it? Display method of which class? C2. Want to call which method? Display method of which class? Base class. How do you call it? How do you call it? Come on. చదువుకుంటే కదా ఎప్పుడన్నా సెల్ఫ్ డాట్ డిస్ప్లే. When you call self dot display, do you know what is happening? It will call the same display method again and again. It is not an inheritance concept. If it is a display 1 and display 2, I can call self dot display 1. That was the previous class concept. But if I say self dot, what will be the self dot display? This display only will be called multiple times. So see the output of it. You are going to get same type of answer multiple times it was called. Infinitely it is calling. It is becoming a bad recursion. How you can call in this case, when we are going to use new methodology now, you need to use super function, super dot display. New one. When you are coming to polymorphism method overriding, to call the base class original method from overridden method, we need to apply what? Super of, and the method name you need to write. Which class method is coming? Who is the super class for C2? C1. It will call immediately what? C1 class display method. Execute now. We are getting perfect answer now. C2 display overridden, C1 display original. How it is going to be useful to us in the memory? First, I am telling to you. First, it will come to what? C2 class looking for display. Internally for display also one method will be memory space will be created. In that place, answer I got it this one. Now what is happening here? Super dot display. It will go to super class C1 display. For this display, separate memory space will not be created. What will happen? In this memory space only, the previous result was already displayed. That will be overlapped with which data? This result will be coming. Total results are coming in which memory space only? Same memory space only will be coming. Earlier programs will give you what memory space? Display 1 memory space, display 2 1 memory space, display 3 1 memory space. Because of that, which memory space? Same memory space is utilized for multiple answers. Which is the best one to utilize the resources? Polymorphism method overriding is the best resource here. Online students, this part, if you execute inheritance programs, then only you can understand. If you don't execute anything, it will be difficult to understand my subject. Polymorphism example 1.py. So what is an example you are supposed to understand? Original method, overridden method. How many times memory space is created for a method here? One time. Which object I created for calling? One object only, C2. How many methods I am using? One or two now? Two a Muddu? One only. Display and display. How many methods I am using? One method. How many answers came? Two. What is this process called? One in multiple forms. One in multiple forms. How many memory spaces created? One only. But how many answers came? 2. Suppose if I write a display 1 and a display 2, if I write a display 2, that time I can call it as what? Self dot. Self dot. This is called a self dot. What is the special drawback of this one? Special drawback of this one, it is going to have this display 2 memory space is different. Display 1 memory space is different. Two memory spaces for methods. One memory space object O2. This I don't want, I am saying. What is the new improvement here? I will go to what memory space? Same memory space I am going to take it. Same memory space I want to take it. One method represented in multiple forms. How to call the base class method? By using super of. So I am executing something like this. How many answers I am getting? Two. What is this method is called? Overridden method. What is this method is called? Virginal method. Define one more kind of class. Class C3 of C2. What I am going to do? Display. I am going to take it what now here? Overridden method. This is also called overridden method. Come on to the point back. Here I am going to write it. Which class object I will create? O3 is equal to what? C3. C3. How many methods I am having here? How many methods? One or two, three? One. But how many answers? Three answers will be coming. So how many objects I am creating overall? Only two. O3 dot display. What is an answer? What is an answer? C3 display overridden. See the answer now. C3 overridden. Display overridden. See that diagram itself. Symbols then అర్థమైపోతది. C1 class inherited into that. Method is also inherited. Overridden. The overridden method again inherited. Again overridden. The symbols you see. It is very clearly understandable. From this C3, I want to call what? C2. How do you call it? How do you call it? Super off. Dot what? Display. Which one will be called? C2 display will be called. C2 display will be called. C3 display is calling C2 display. C2 display want to call what? C1 display. How do you call? Super off dot what? Display. Super off display. It will call the C1 display. C3 is calling C2. C2 is calling what? C1. Are you following? So what is the super of approach is used for? It is used to call. It is used to call. It's immediate superclass method. How many display methods I am having? How many? One. How many outputs? What is that policy is called? What is that policy is called? One form in multiple forms is called. What is one form? What is one form here? Original method. What is that one form? What are the multiple forms are called? Overridden methods. Overridden methods. What is the form? What is the form here? State of existence of method. State of existence of method means if method exists in first form ante method. If a method exists in which class? Base class. It is called what? It is called which method? Original method. Original method. If the method exists in base class, it is the original method. If the method exists in where? If the method exists in which class? Derived classes. It is known as which method? Overridden methods. You practically observed that only. In my class, this is the method available in base class, original method. This method redefined in which class? C2, redefined in which class? C3. They are called which methods? Overridden methods. Overridden methods are available in which class? Derived classes. Original method is exist in which class? Base class. So here one form is nothing but a original method. Multiple forms are nothing but overridden method. A form is nothing but state of existence of a method. If the method exists in base class, it is the original method. If the method exists in derived class, it is called overridden methods. I hope you are following me. Now, I will go to the next stage here. Polymorphism example 2. If you look at this diagram, C1 go to C2, C2 go to C3, C3, C3 calling, C3 display calling C2, C2 display calling what? C1. By using what? Super off. By using what? Super off. But C3 want to call what? C1. C3 want to call C1. C3 want to call C1. For that, super off approach is not useful. Super of approach is not possible. Who is the immediate superclass of C3? Come on, Muddu, speak out. C2. Who is the superclass of C2? C1. Who is working? Super of. Here, C3 want to call what? C1. What is not possible? Super of is not possible. For that, what is useful? I am writing the second technique for you. Second technique I am going to apply. Look at that. All the students in online, listen carefully. Everything will be addressed. Clearly try to follow. Don't try to apply your academic knowledge. Follow me. Everything will be addressed here. Carefully try to follow me. That's all. So here I'm going to write it. Start. What is our expect? What is our requirement? See it. Want to call which one first? C1. For that, which one is not useful? Super of is not useful. So I have to go for C1 dot. C1 dot. I need to write what is the method name? Display. Display. Display is which type of method? Huh? Original method. Okay, Muddu. C1 display method is what type? Type of methods. Two types. Instance method, class level method. Which method? Instance method. How do you call instance methods? With respect to object name or with respect to self. But you are calling with respect to what? Class name. Any method called with respect to class name means it is which type? Class level method. Now, we are calling instance method with respect to class name in polymorphism especially. That time you need to pass what here? Self. See, the another way of calling the instance method of base class of any base class by using what? C1 dot display of what? Self. This is the another approach called class name approach. Which approach? This will call straightforward which class? So C1, execute now. See the output of this now. I got C3 is directly calling what? C1. Now I want to call C2 also. How do you call C2? Super of I can call. I can call super of what? Display I can call. So this one you got it. C2. Why C2 super of? Immediate superclass of C3 is what? C2. If you want, you can call another way as what? C2 dot display of self. You can call like this also. Which approach this is? Class name approach. For all these things, how many times this display method of memory space created? One time only memory space is created, but I'm getting how many results? Three results I'm getting. Is it taking least memory space internally or not? So how many ways are there to call the base class methods from derived class methods? Two ways. One is super of and one more is class name of. So generally, most of the times you will come across super of approach only. Class name approach is very rarely you will get it in the materials and all. So this is a very important here. Any kind of class C1 to C2, C2 to C3, C3 to C4. Super of approach will call what? Immediate superclass. This is called what super will do. Super cannot do what? C4 to C1 cannot do. If I want to call C1 to C4 to C1 straightforward, use which approach? Class name approach and pass what here? Self. I think you are understanding this. Is this is clear or not? This is which approach? Class name approach. This is which approach? Super of approach this is. What the super of approach will do actually? It will call immediate superclass method, but it cannot call topmost base class from the bottommost derived class. It cannot call English Radu. Emi Radu. Topmost base class from the bottommost derived class cannot be called. How to call the topmost base class method from bottommost derived class? Class name approach. Super of approach is for immediate base class only you can call. You cannot call the bottommost derived class C3, cannot call the topmost base class. That's why we will go for which approach? Class name approach. Similarly, this is called which approach? Polymorphism. This is going to be called as what? Polymorphism implemented by method overriding. So if you observe carefully, how many display methods are there? One. How many answers are coming? Three. What is that definition is called? One form in multiple forms. That principle is bringing back to which concept? Method overriding. So overall together is called what? Polymorphism. Polymorphism uses which concept? Polymorphism uses which concept? Method overriding. If I want to do method overriding, which principle I applied? Inheritance. What is the inheritance principle I applied? This is the method what I defined here. It is inherited into C2. I redefined it. Redefining means what? Heading is same, body is different. Again, I inherited into C3 class. I overridden it. Redefining the original method of base class into various derived classes is also called as what? Method overriding. If I want to use method overriding, you have to apply which concept? Inheritance. If I want to use inheritance, I need to apply which concept? Classes and objects I need to apply. If I want to go to a qualitative application, I have to apply which principle? Polymorphism. Polymorphism uses which concept? Method overriding. Method overriding uses what? Inheritance. Inheritance uses what? Classes and object. This is a cyclic process of how OOPs will be interrelated to each other. Are you getting it? So OOPs with the programming means I have to go for straightforward with right. Here classes I am using three. But how many objects I am created? ఇక్కడ మొద్దు టూ ఇవన్నీ ఎక్కడ ఉన్నాయి ఇక్కడ. So this is called OOPs based application polymorphism. How many objects created? If it is an inheritance, non-inheritance program, how many? Six. If it is an inheritance two, how many objects here? Four. Four also same answer. Four also same answer. And this is six also same answer. Six also same answer. And this polymorphism answer also will be the same. I got the same. But which one is the best? Overall program will take only two. But inheritance program will take four. Non-inheritance program will take six. Which is the best one in memory space? Polymorphism. This is a very, very important. This is the overall spiritual essence of what? Oops. If you go to colleges, poly means that, morphism means that, something, something it will go. If you go to any real-time application, polymorphism means something like this, you need to go for it. So I'll show you one small concept here. Then I will go to the multiple examples now. So I'll show you. If you come to this place, polymorphism, if I come to it, here I'm going to take it. Polymorphism in Python. I'll show you this now. Try to understand. Anybody else is learning polymorphism, try to follow this concept. Polymorphism is one of the best principle of OOPs. Advantage of polymorphism is to take less memory space. The process of representing one form in multiple forms is called polymorphism. Definitely people will ask what is one form? Because then one form represents original method. Already you have seen what is original method. Multiple forms are nothing but overridden methods. What is overridden method? Heading is same, body is different. A form is nothing but state of existence of a method. If I am sitting in the class, I am a teacher. When I go to the shop, I am a customer. When I go to the movie, I am an audience. When I go to the stadium, I am a player. So state is changing. Depends on the situation. If the method is existing in base class, it is called original method. And if the method is existing in derived class, It is called overridden method. To implement polymorphism in Python language, we have two concepts. One is method overriding, one more is a constructor overriding. I'll go to constructor overriding. If I go to Java, method overriding is there, method overloading is also there. Listen the class. Later you can eat nails, all those things. Very busy in eating nails. What is that worst habit? Completely eating nails. Later you eat, I'm having some more components here. Mic is there, pen is there, something, some other component, hardware components are there. You eat that also. So continuously, half an hour onwards, continuously eating. Later you be careful. Other two people are careful. You will eat your nails also. So coming to this, certain things I'm unable to see. Actually, I need not to highlight that, but continuously eating by leaving this polymorphism. What is that worst habit? So method overriding here. Are you following this? What is the method overriding definition? Come on, Muddu. Method overriding is equal to method heading is same, method body is different. So here method heading is same, method heading is same, method body is different, method body is different. Or one more way, what is this method is called overridden method. What I did here, redefined. Redefined అంటే ఒరిజినల్ డెఫినేషన్ తీసేసి కొత్త డెఫినేషన్ రాయడాన్ని రీడిఫైన్డ్ అని అంటారు. Telugu students will get a understanding. Hindi student, redefining the original method in the derived class with a new body by taking the same heading. That is known as what? Method overriding. This is already defined. I am redefining. ఉన్నదాన్ని తీసేసి కొత్తగా రాయడం. రీడిఫైనింగ్ ద ఒరిజినల్ మెథడ్. ఇంగ్లీష్ రాకపోతే మనం ఏం చేయలేం. ఈటింగ్ నెయిల్స్, ఈటింగ్ సంథింగ్, దట్ ఈస్ ఆల్వేస్ ప్రాబ్లం. Next, this is called what? Heading is same. Redefining this one is. So the process of redefining the another definition. The process of redefining the original method of base class into various derived classes for performing different operations is called method overriding. To use method overriding in Python program, we must apply which principle? Inheritance principle. Why? We cannot override in the same. If I override in the same class, which method will be called? Latest method will be called. Already shown you. So that's why I will inherit the method from base class into derived class. So method overriding used for implementing polymorphism principle. Here, polymorphism uses method overriding. Method overriding uses inheritance. Inheritance uses classes and objects. So online students, I think it is clear for you. Now I am entering into one more kind of same example, going to the next one. Go to the next place. Very simple. I will apply here one small concept called polymorphism example 3.py. So there I am trying to write it class C1. Here I will write it class C1. First I will go to polymorphism example 3.py. Class C1. After that I will go to the example def underscore underscore init underscore underscore of self. There I'm going to write it C1 inheritance here. C1 inheritance here, which is known as what? Original constructor. This is known as original constructor. Original. This is called a original constructor. Original constructor. Original constructor. In the morning, I went to my relative's daughter. She is studying in one engineering college. His father went to native place. I dropped her today in the bus stop. Her bus will go to 6:40 or something. I taken her to 6:30 to the bus stop today. So she is waiting. One more girl was already there in the bus stop for another bus. Another bus. So she is sitting at one shop place. Road means, engineering colleges will go on the bus. Students will wait. I'm dropping her. Another girl is also there. She is sitting on the steps of the shop. She is sitting and sleeping morning 6:30, 6:35. She is already there. She is waiting for the bus. She is sleeping, sitting and sleeping. Bus came and went off. And we don't know that that girl is that one. Next, the moment that bus is gone, within 2 minutes, her classmate came. Her classmate. Her classmate came. And she, both of the classmate means what? Both of them can be talking. So the newly coming girl asking this girl, sleeping girl, bus came. She said, no. నేను వింటున్నా జాగ్రత్తగా. ఈ అమ్మాయి కూడా చెప్పింది. This girl, but they are talking. This girl which I dropped. This girl also will go to the bus. The bus already gone. This girl is saying, my relative girl is saying, just now went. And this girl, ఎప్పుడు వెళ్ళింది అంటుంది ఈ అమ్మాయి. అప్పుడు ఈ అమ్మాయి చెప్పింది, మా రిలేటివ్ సెట్ యు ఆర్ స్లీపింగ్, బస్ గాన్. And both of them are doing what, students? Both of them, this sleeping girl and that girl, what they did? They both of them walking and going. Where they are going, I don't know. అంటే sleeping, eating nails. But work will go on. That's why work oriented you should be. నాకు అనిపించింది how irresponsible these people in the society అని. When you want to sleep, sleep in the home only. I am telling he is sleeping. Spets, white shirt, white t-shirt. Even white t-shirt. White t-shirt. You are good. You are good. White t-shirt. He's sleeping. నాకు ఇమీడియట్ వాళ్ళే గుర్తొచ్చారు. వాళ్ళు ఎటు పోయిటారేమో ఇప్పుడు. They can't go to home. Why? That girl came late. This girl is sleeping. ఇప్పుడు ఇంటికి వెళ్తే తిడతారు వాళ్ళు పేరెంట్స్. బాక్స్ ఈస్ దేర్, వాటర్ బాటిల్ ఈస్ దేర్, బికమ్ రెడీ ఆల్సో. అన్ని కావాల్సిన హంగులన్నీ ఉన్నాయి. ఇంకా నేను చెప్పట్లేదు, గర్ల్స్ కదా. ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఈస్ దేర్. రబ్బర్ బ్యాండ్ ఈస్ దేర్. ఇంకా కొన్ని చెప్పట్లే, ఐఎమ్ నాట్ టెల్లింగ్ సమ్ ఆఫ్ దెమ్. అంటే ద న్యూ గర్ల్ కేమ్, దాని ఏదో అది ఉంటది కదా, రింగులు వేసుకొని ఉంటారు చేతులకి. అన్ని ఉన్నాయి. బట్ బస్ గాన్. వాట్ టు డూ? What to do, students? That's why when I'm involving, you have to completely involve. While eating biryani, completely involved. Don't remember Python. But when I'm reading Python, completely Python only. Correct? Listening class. Like this, if you do, problem always. Come to the point. Okay, it's not necessary for me, but I'm little sincere. I'm unable to see this non-sincere activities in my class. Because if something I see which is ingenuine, I'm unable to tolerate. If it is there in my hands, I'll try to sort it out. If it is not there in my hands, I can't do anything. I just close my eyes that time. So, come to the point. Now here, class C1, this is a constructor which is original. What I do? Class C2. What is happening? Of C1. When I highlight, student will fill, but I don't bother about it because I'm helping them. By eating all the fingers, nails, what will happen? He will forget polymorphism. Tomorrow, this definition will come in polymorphism. That time, if I say like that, what will happen? Interviewer will feel, what are you doing? If I stop it, he will understand what is the meaning of polymorphism. He will not sleep, at least. That is what is my long-term benefit. If you feel negative, I cannot do anything because I'm doing good for you. If I give injection, definitely pain only. But next day you will running in the ground. If I don't give injection, you will be on the same only. That is my point of time. So don't feel negative for it. Even if you feel negative, also we least bother about it. DEF underscore init. What I'm doing now, you just first understand like this. Pause. Come to Now main program. Constructors, there is a fourth property. Did you remember fourth property of constructor? Properties of constructor, do you remember? Properties of constructor. Rules for defining constructor. Number one, name of the constructor. Underscore underscore init underscore underscore of self. Number two, constructor called by PVM during object creation. Number three, number three, in the camera, constructor will not return any value even into float also. It returns only none. It returns only none. Three properties. Fourth, constructors participates in inheritance process. Constructors can be overridden. ఓపెన్ చేస్తాను ఇక్కడ ఇండియన్ కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ భారత రాజ్యాంగం. సో గో టు ఈ కోలన్ 11 AM. Oops. Here constructors. Here constructors here. I will go to this place. Here I'm going to enter into this place. Here I'm going to take up. Here I'm going to properties or rules of constructor. The name of the constructor. Constructor will be called by PVM during object creation. Constructors will not return any value except what? None. Next, fourth, in Python, constructors participate in inheritance process. Now I'm showing. Constructors can be overridden. Now I'm showing. Already explained or not explained? Explain. చదువుకుంటే ఏమైందా? Huh? Come to the point back here. Here I'm going to write it. C2 of C1. O1 is equal to C2. What is this line is called? What is this line is called? Object creation. Object creation means go to which class? What will call? Constructor. Object creation makes the PVM to call its constructor. Go to which class? C2 class. Do you have constructor here? Do you have constructor here? Moddu. There. Constructor there or not there? There. There or not there? There. You said what? No. No. Sleep. There or not there? There. What is that? What there means how it is there? Virtually. This entire constructor is available. That is proved that constructors are inherited. Constructors are inherited. See that answer now. C1 related constructor inherited into which class? C2 class. How I proved it? Because I created an object of which class? C2 class object is created, constructor inherited. This is proving that constructors participates in inheritance process. What I do next? How do you override? DEF underscore underscore init underscore underscore init C2. This is called what I am doing? Overridden. 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 This is going to be known as what? Overridden constructorities. Overridden constructorities. Are you following? Start with which one will be executing? Object creation makes the PVM to call constructor of which class? C2. Do you have constructor in C2 class? Yes. Is it originally defined or overridden? So it will call which constructor? Overridden constructor. See the answer now. C2 init overridden. Now I want to call which constructor? C1 constructor I want to call. Can you call it? How? How many approaches? Two. What are those? Super of. Come on. Class name of. Come on. Call with super of. Super of dot underscore underscore init underscore underscore init. See the answer now. Am I getting both of them or not? Yes. Same thing. If I go to another way, if I go to another way, here I'm going to take up. Here I'm going to take up 4.py. I'm going to take this. I will go to which constructor? Go to this place. Here I'm going to take 4. This is called C2. I will go to C3 Kveltaniguda. C3 I will go. C3 I will go. There is a lot more things to discuss with you. C2. C2. Okay. Then this is called what? C3. This you remove. This you remove. Start here. Which one will be done? Which one will be done? C3 only will be coming. This is called create what object? C3, O3. Which class object? C3 class object. Which constructor? C3 class constructor is calling. Are you following me? How C3 class constructor can call C1, C2 class constructor? Super of dot what? Underscore underscore init underscore underscore of. Hmm, got it. C3 calling C2. Next, what I want to do? C3, C2 want to call what? How? Super of dot underscore underscore on init of. Is it calling the above one or not? This is what approach? Super of approach. But what is the super of approach problem? Bottommost derived class cannot call the topmost class when there are some intermediate classes are there. I will go to which approach? Class name approach. Class name approach I will go. Class name approach I will go. So I will go to polymorphism example 5.py. Polymorphism example 5.py. Polymorphism example 5.py. Polymorphism example 5.py. Okay, 5.py. 5.py. So this I will go. There are a lot more things to discuss with you. Go to this place. I'm going to write it. Here I will go for it. .py. So I will go for removing this. Now come on here. All the students in online, go to this place, create and execute. What is happening now? C3. Now C3 want to call what? C1. C1. Come on, how do you call? C1 dot. I forget. Underscore underscore init underscore underscore of self. Self. C1 class లో ఉన్నటువంటి init method which is taking self as a parameter. C1 class which is having init under that self as a parameter. It will call the C1 class. After C3, C1. And C2 also I want to call. How do you call? C2 dot underscore underscore init of self. Execute that. Got the answer now. Clear or not clear? Right. Online students, is it clear for all of you? Can you respond it? Quick response. Now I will move to the further. I will move to this further. What is this concept called? Constructor overriding. How many constructors I am having here? How many constructors? One or many? One. One only. How many times memory space created? In one memory space only, all outputs are coming. Is it called list memory space or not? Yes. So, coming to the point back, this is called one small kind of thing. Which inheritance it is? Multi-level. Previous one is also what? Multi-level. Previous one is also called a single. That previous one is what? Multi-level. Now I want to go for multiple, something more important. Where super of is becoming fail, I am going to show. One concept I shown you, why class name approach is. Please follow me. Polymorphism example 6.py. Polymorphism is just one extra supplement to the constructor. So 6.py I am going to add. 6.py. So there I am going to write it 6.py. In the 6.py, please observe it. I am going to take it. This entire thing. You come to 6.py students. Observe. Which inheritance I am applying? Which inheritance I am applying? C1 comma C2. This is also called which method? Which method? Original method. Okay. Now be careful, mom. I am going to write it pass. Earlier called what? Display 1. This is called a display 2. How many methods I am having? Two different methods are there. Which concept it is? Which concept it is? Inheritance concept. Which concept? Why inheritance concept? I am having how many methods? Display 1, display 2, inherited into which class? C3. So I'm calling, I'm getting the answer. Getting or not? Now, but today I don't want what? Two methods on different names. Why? They will take how many memory spaces? Two. If I take the same method name, how many memory spaces? One. So I'm thinking about what? Internal performance. Understand? Right. Come on, that time what should I do? O3 dot which method? Display. What is an output will be coming? Which inheritance? Multiple. Which inheritance? Hmm, multiple, okay. Output. C1, C2. Both of things are coming. Which method? Same method is coming. This is also called original method only. This is also defined according to the C2 is an independent class. C1 is an independent class. C3 of C1 comma C2. Which method will be coming? C1 or C2? C1 related display method. C2 related display method. Come on. C2 or C1? చెప్పండి గట్టిగా చెప్పండి. C1 or C2? సార్ తిడతాడని భయం. Which one? C1 or C2? Both. Good. Who said both? ముద్దు ముద్దులకు ఆయన అధ్యక్షుడు ఆయన. ముద్దులకి ముద్దు. మహా ముద్దు అది. So both how it will come on same name it is there. How it will come? Here the answer is whenever you write C3 of C1 and C2, you are going to get first class method only will be coming. Generally student will expect the latest method, but it is going to come first class C1 method only will be coming, not C2 thing. C1 related method only will come. Answer you see. Answer you see. C1 display original. Change the order. ఇక్కడ C2 అందాము, ఇక్కడ C1 అందాం. Which one will come now? C2 will come. C2 related display method will come. No ambiguity. Hemnath Kumar. Ambiguity will come in Java. Java does not support multiple inheritance through classes. But in Python, it supports all types of inheritances. To avoid the multiple inheritance problem in Java, we have interfaces. In Python, we doesn't have that because everything is supporting here. Actually, Python, oops, is dead easy. But nowadays, who are coming from the teaching, to understanding the courses, joining the courses, they will feel more difficulty because in college only they eat away the brain. They provide a moddu brain. So, you will be getting which class method is coming? Latest class method, first class method, first class method. Now, if I override my own method, see what is happening. Display of this self. Display of this self. I'm going to do what here? C3 display overridden. I'm going to take overridden method. I'm going to take. This is a overridden method. I'm going to take, student. This is called a overridden method. This is overridden method. You tell me which answer is coming now. C2 method, C1 method, overridden method. Overridden method will be coming now. Overridden method is coming. Now I am calling. Come on, what I am going to call? Super of display. Which display will come? C2 na C1 na? C2 will come, not C1. Multiple inheritance is a very, very important here. C2 only will come. If I change the order, who will come? C1 will come. How many methods I am having in my program? How many methods I am having? One na, two na, three na? One only. What is that method name? Display. One in multiple forms. If I take display one, display two, display three, that is called what? Inheritance. If I take display in all the classes, base class and derivative class, it is called polymorphism. So now I will say this one, super dot display. Now, how do you call this C2? Is it possible to write second time also super dot display? Is it possible to call like that? No, it is going to give you the same C1 method only two times. Then how do you call? Super of approach is not possible to call the next super class of the present derivative class. In multiple inheritance, second super class, third super class methods you cannot call. That time the only one and approach is class name approach. What is the class name approach? C2 dot, come on, display of self. Like that you need to call. See that now? Got it? Getting or not? So even if there is no super, no problem. Next, last and final example here. I will take it. This is the one. I'm going to take it 6.7.py. I will carry this entire answer here. You try to carry this one. I'm going to take up. In this case, I will what? C1 of. What is this? C1 of. Total, I will write what? Self. That means which is the most effective approach? Which is the most effective approach? Super of us, class name approach. Class name approach is the most effective approach. Whichever class you want in any order, in any way, I can call it. Ready, following? The same way you can apply to what also? You can apply to what also? Constructors also in multiple inheritance, you can take it. Constructors also you can take in multiple inheritance. How do you call it? Same approach only we can use it. Same approach only we can use it. So 8.py. So what is this 7.py? I will take up here. In this case, for example, in place of display, I am writing underscore underscore init. This is called what? Original constructor. Original constructor. This is called something like a original constructor init underscore underscore. Here also I am taking what? Here I am going to define original constructor. This is called C2. Here I will define, I will come out of it and I am saying something like a pass. Which class object is going to be creating? C3. C3 class object means what? Constructor will be called. Which class constructor? C1 or C2? First one, whoever is our. Who is that? C1. See the answer now. What is that? C1 is coming. Suppose if I change the order, what is that now? C2. C2 of what? C1. What is the output here? C2 is coming. C2 is coming. Now I will go for main important backbone for you. It is a heart for learning programming languages. If you utilize my notes so thoroughly, if you go to an interview point of view, these questions only will be coming. My whoops index is there now. You just add a question called what is the purpose, what is the definition, where we can use. You learn that entire index points. You can answer any interview. You take any Python student, any Java student, they learn codes, but they don't know what is happening inside because no practice, nothing is there. I hope you are understanding now. Is it clear? So what did you understand in this case? If you go to my index here, go to method overriding. Importance and purpose of method overriding, memory management of method overriding. Because of overriding the same method, what memory will come? Less memory. Programming example through polymorphism. Constructor overriding also same, copy paste here. Constructor overriding, memory management of constructor overriding. Both of them are coming into polymorphism. Method overriding in polymorphism, constructor overriding in polymorphism. Class name approach is super of approach. Importance and purpose of polymorphism. Difference between polymorphism and constructor. Uh, Inheritance. Inheritance will say what? Display 1, display 2, display 3. Inheritance. How many methods? Three methods, three memory spaces. Display, display, display. What method? Same method. One memory space. Three different answers like a inheritance. Which is the best approach? Polymorphism approach is the best approach. So, coming to the Next example, I want to go for it. Online students, are you following me, students? Are you following this entire thing? Now I'm going to enter into the further. All the students in online, everybody need to respond. Whoever understand, try to respond. So Sai Kumar, you asked some doubt earlier. I did not see that. I hope this doubt is clear for you. The doubt which you asked, I hope so. I think it is cleared now. But I expect that it is cleared. I hope so. Clear? Yes. So actually, I want to address your doubt that time only. But I thought that with my explanation, that will be clarified. I hope so. It will be cleared. I hope so. Now I'm entering into the next one more kind of thing. 9.py. So I'm going to take one example, students. Please observe. Program for calculating areas of different figures. Different figures. I'm going to take it. This example, I want to do it. You tell me overall Python you apply. This example, overall Python you apply. How many ways you can define? You just tell me in your own way. Own way. Your own way, tell me. How many ways you can do? Suppose you come for an interview. You know how many ways I can define this example? Different figures. Like what? Like what? Circle. Like what? Square. Like what? Rectangle. Like this I'm having. How many ways? అసలు ఏమైనా ఒక్కటైనా తెలుసా? నంబర్ 1. ఇప్పుడు నేను రాస్తాను చూడండి. నాన్ ఫంక్షనల్ అప్రోచ్ అంటే ఐఎమ్ డిఫైనింగ్ సపరేట్ లైన్స్ ఫర్ వాట్? ఎంటర్ రేడియస్, క్యాలిక్యులేట్ డిస్ప్లే, యాక్సెప్ట్ స్క్వేర్ సైడ్, క్యాలిక్యులేట్ డిస్ప్లే, యాక్సెప్ట్ లెంగ్త్ అండ్ బ్రెడ్త్, calculate display, beginning this, data reading time, I set some example, operators time. Did you remember that? Next, that is one. Number 2, second, by using functional approach. By using functional approach. What is the functional approach? DEF circle area, DEF square area, DEF rectangle area. Why? Why I'm going for functional approach? To reuse my code in further part of the project through modules, through packages. Got my point? That is called a second approach. Second approach. Third approach. Third approach. By using classes and objects. By using classes and objects. Class circle, circle area. Class square, square area. Class rectangle, rectangle area. 3 classes. S is equal to square of S dot area. C is equal to circle of C dot area. Rectangle of R dot area. Like a separate classes. 3 classes, 3 methods. Totally how many? 6 objects. Okay. Next, fourth, by using Odo, inheritance. By using what? Inheritance. Circle class takes from circle class gives to square. Square will give to whom? Rectangle. Which class object I will create? Rectangle. RO dot circle area, RO dot square area, RO dot rectangle area. How many objects? 4 objects. Circle object calling circle area, rectangle area, square area. Bottommost class object. If you take circle to square, rectangle data, all the 3 methods. How many objects? 4 objects. On inheritance, 6 objects. Next, fifth one, by using polymorphism. By using polymorphism. By using polymorphism. So anytime if I am developing a program in Python, I can develop these many ways. ఇన్ని ways లో రాయొచ్చు. మనకి ఎప్పటన్నా ఏమన్నా వచ్చో? Is it all these things explained in my class? ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేసినట్టన్నా గుర్తుందా? మీరు రాయకపోతే రాయకపోయినలే, అది మీ పర్సనల్. బట్ డూ యూ రిమెంబర్ ఐ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్డ్ దిస్? ఎస్. నౌ టుడే ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ ఫర్ యూజింగ్ విచ్ ఇస్ ద బెస్ట్ అప్రోచ్ హియర్? Polymorphism is the best approach. Now I'm going to use the polymorphism approach. One, by using Methods I will do, overridden methods, one by using overridden constructors I will do. So that will be done with polymorphism now. Online students, is this approach is clear, ma? Respond, students. Respond. Now I'm going to enter into the further. So I will close all these things. I will close all these things. Let me go to this entire thing quickly. So I will upload all these things for you. So go to that 9.py. Here I am writing class. Come on, circle. Class circle. DE of area. I will take it self dot r is equal to float of input of enter radius. So self dot AC is equal to self dot r star 2, and before that I will write 3.14. Print of what? Area of circle is equal to self dot AC. This is a method I defined first time, which is known as what? Original method. Okay. Come on. You don't know that? You look at clear? Huh? Yes. So class here I will go to square. Square of what? Circle. What I'm going to do? Area. What is this area called? What is this area called? Madhu. Overridden method. Overridden method. Right. మీరు రేపు వాట్ ఇస్ యువర్ నేమ్ అంటే మొద్దు అని చెప్పకండి. అంటే కొన్ని రోజులు అయితే మీ పేరు కూడా మర్చిపోతారు. బికాజ్ మొద్దు ఈజ్ యువర్ నిక్ నేమ్. ఎస్. నెక్స్ట్ is called what? Enter the side value. Enter the side value. Come on, what is this now? Self dot SA is equal to self dot S star 2. Now say what now? Area of square is equal to self dot SA. What inheritance up to here? Single inheritance, Modu. Which inheritance? Single inheritance. Circle to where? Square. Which inheritance? Single inheritance. How many area methods I am having? 2. Okay, na Tamil after 2 antunna. 2 or 1? 1 or 2? 1 only. But it gives how many answers? 2 answers. Method heading is same. Method body is different. What concept I am applying? Method overriding. One method is having 2 answers, one in multiple forms. It spell out the concept of what? Polymorphism. Simple words I am using. So, come to the point of it. Class, what is this? Rectangle of what? Rectangle of what? Square. Square. I'm going to area. In this place, I'm going to take off. In this case, I'm writing here. I'm going to write it. Self dot L is equal to float of input of enter rectangle length. Next is called what? Self dot B is equal to enter rectangle boundary అంట. అందుకనే చాట్ జీపీటీకి వెళ్తే చాలా కష్టం. బ్రెడ్త్. సో కమింగ్ టు ద పాయింట్ బ్యాక్. దీస్ డేస్ మీకు చెప్పాను కూడా ఒకసారి. వన్ ఫారిన్ టెక్కీ technical professional is having high blood pressure, high BP. So he asked high blood pressure will come because of more salt consumption. Maybe in any form, when more salt is entered and your something, what I know, blood will become thick and it is not able to flow properly. So your heart need to pump more and more. That is called high blood pressure. Are you following? So he contacted once to ChatGPT. I have more high BP. How do you reduce? It said, you reduce your salt consumption There is NaCl, you know, chemistry. NaCl. What is NaCl? Sodium chloride. మీకు అంత తెలుసు కానీ దేంట్లో జాబ్ రాదు. అది మన టాలెంట్. సో NaCl, you reduce that chloride component, you consume same salt like, but no salt, chloride is there. You try to consume bromine. బ్రొమైన్ అనే ఒక పీరియాడిక్ టేబుల్లో 1 or 2 ఎలిమెంట్స్ ఉంటాయి, అందులో బ్రొమైన్ అనేది ఒక కాంపనెంట్. బ్రొమైన్ ఈజ్ వన్ ఎలిమెంట్. యూ కన్జ్యూమ్ దట్ కాంపనెంట్, దే సెడ్. ఈ స్టార్టెడ్ కన్జ్యూమింగ్. ఆఫ్టర్ 1 or 1 month after that, his total organs collapsed. Finally purchased the ticket. Garbage collector collected, because the organs internally happens what? Del X component, del Y component, or component is equal to none. They made it none. Total components are none, means what? Nothing is there in that because of bromine consumption, because of the chart GPT. So what you are expecting, that exact solution will not be coming. Understand? That's why enter the boundary, rectangle boundary, all those things will not be there. Breadth, come on to the point. I'm going to take up area is equal to self dot RA is equal to self dot L into self dot area of rectangle is equal to like this. What is this method is called? What is this method is called? Come on. Method overridden method. Which type of inheritance? Multi-level. Come on, which object I will create? Which object I will create? Hmm? What happens? So self dot AC 3.14 like. Okay. Execute. So like 10 and then 20. I got the answer, something like that. Okay. This is done. After that, I want to call other kind of thing, mom. What I want to call? Square related area. How do I call? Come on. Square. Super dot first. Super dot area. Area. How do you call? You see, it is calling 10, 20, side value called 5, 25. I got it. How many methods I am using? One method only. After the first result is coming, it is overlapped with a new result. That is called best. Will go to what? After this is after this is completed, I will call one more kind of thing. What is the next one? Here I will go. What is the next one? Super of what? Area. Which area will come? Circle area will come, students. Circle area. 10, 20, some 5, 1.2. I got the output or not? This is called by using which approach? Super of approach. You can also do which approach also. Yes, how do you do that? In this case, come on, quickly. Square dot area of self, circle dot area of self, area of self. So beautiful. So got it. Done. Execute. See here. 12 and then 13. 12 and 13. Some 6.23. Got it. 1.7. I got output. Are you following me? So how many approaches are there to call it? Two. One is super of approach, class name approach. Very, very important. Online students, I think it is clear. Which inheritance it is? Multi-level. I can also do the same thing by using multiple also. Multiple also. So, Sai Kumar, your doubt is there again. Doubt is there again. I will address now itself. But sir, I want only area of square. That's what, my dear student. You want area of square only? Don't call it Don't call it. Don't call it. So 10, 20, and the next is called what? 4. Getting or not? Still you are saying you want to go for only area of square. Go to what? Go to what? Here. What you will do? SO is equal to what? Square of. Go to what? SO dot what? Area of. Area of. Go to that. I say 7. 7 into 49. Getting or not? Sai Sai Kumar. Still, ఇంకా వండర్ఫుల్ గా వెళ్ళిపోవాలంటే వాట్ ఇస్ ద ఎస్ఓ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు స్క్వేర్ ఆఫ్ ఐ విల్ కాల్ నేమ్లెస్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ అంటారు దాన్ని. విచ్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్? నేమ్లెస్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్. సూపర్. స్క్వేర్ ఆఫ్ డాట్ ఏరియా ఆఫ్ నేమ్లెస్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్. నేమ్లెస్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్. నేమ్లెస్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ 5. 5 square. Nameless object approach. Once you have good hair cutting, anyway you can comb. If no hair, ring road, bypass road only. What approach it is? Nameless object approach. Nameless object approach. Right. Hmm? Here we are not utilizing polymorphism in the case of area of square. Go for normal class only. If I want only one thing, why to go for polymorphism? Polymorphism is one in many forms. But I have only one. What is that one? Square. Write only square class. Okay, Sai Kumar. You have only one. Go for square class. What I said here by using what? Classes and objects. You have only one kada. Go for this one. Go for this one. Go for this one. Go for this one. If you want one in many forms, go for which one? Polymorphism. All approaches are there here. For everything, solution is available with us. 100% solution is available. So I will go to this place now. I hope that. So got it. What is this way? This is the one. You want to see in another way? Which approach this is? Nameless object approach. What is the nameless object approach? What is the nameless object approach? Rect of dot hmm, what area? Rect of dot area. Rect R of capital. R is mathematically equal to what? Rect of. So see, 2 times I am going to 4 and 5 and then 5 and then say 1.2, or another way 10 and then 34 and then say 2.3 and then say 1.6. I got my output. Nameless object. What is the nameless object? Calling the method of any class with name without creating an object. Nameless approach. That is the nameless approach. This is through which concept? Which one? Multi-level. Through multiple also you can do the same thing. Multiple also you can do the same thing. Look at here. I'm going to do the multiple. Multiple I'm going to take up 10.py. 10.py. There I'm going to write it. 10 అనేది. I think 9 is that only. I want to tell you here only that that process. So in this place, okay, this one, I will take this is 9 only. In this place, I will take the same thing. We will go to which inheritance I will apply? Which inheritance? Multiple. How to do multiple? Here I will take. This is called which method? Original method. Here I will take it what? Circle, comma, square. Circle, comma, square. Circle, comma, square. What is the problem there? Circle. Okay. Circle. Here circle, comma, square. That time what will happen? Circle. Square of area. Square of area of self. Circle dot area. I'm not doing anything. Only link I'm going to do the change. So execute same to same 2, 3 and say 5.6 and say 0.5, got an output. So 5 and 9 and say 1.8 and say 7, I got an output. Getting my point? So this is called which inheritance? Multiple inheritance. Which concept? Polymorphism. Next, I will go to same example through constructor also you can do. Through constructor also you can do. So I will go to last and final example. This is called polymorphism example 10.py. So if you go to any AI level, oops is very, very important. So I'm going to write it 11.py, last and final example. Through constructor, I will write it. I'm reading, I'm doing calculation also. I'm initializing and I'm calculating. How do you do that? Init of self. What is this now? Original constructor. I'm initializing and I'm calculating also. Here I'm going to do what? Same thing. Underscore init underscore. It is also called which one? Original constructor. Original constructor. This is also known as what I will take it. Under that I will write like this. I will say what is this is known as overridden constructor. Overridden constructor. Right, done. That time I should not write like this. That time I should not take up this one. See, rectangle. Coming to this place. Here, keep a comment for 2 minutes. I will change later with respect to your knowledge. So execute. So 5 and then 2 got an answer. How do you get the another one? I want to call circle and square. Call square once. How do you do? Come on. Underscore init of. Okay. Execute. I say 6 and 7. I say 3. Got an output. How do you call the circle related? Circle of what? Underscore init. Underscore of. Like this. You can go like this. Got it. So 6 and 7 and 3 and 2 and 3 got an output. You can do the same way instead of writing RO. RO is no use with me. RO is no use with me. I'll go for which approach? Which approach? Nameless object. Previously, here I said na, which approach? Nameless, nameless object approach. Nameless object approach. Here I will simply say what? Rect off, rect off. See that. Two answers will be coming. One, 10 and 40. Say 3. Say 1.9. That is for named oriented object. 6 and 9. And say 1.7. You say 7. You got the answer. Are you getting it? So this is about the concept of how we can take care about this super off approach. One small answer I want to show this place only in our oops. If I come, there is one thing called what? Number of approaches to call. What is this approach? Two approaches. One is super off approach, class name approach. Chadukonda super off approach. Super off is used for is one of the predefined function which is used for calling superclass original method as well as superclass constructor from overridden method, overridden constructor of the derived class. Super of method name, super of init. Already we have seen. Go to. With the super of 1, we are able to call only immediate base class method or immediate base class constructor. But we are unable to call specific method or specific constructor of a class. But I mean, immediate class only we need to call, but not topmost class from bottommost. To do this, we go for class name approach. This is the most flexible approach. Class name approach. By using class name approach, we can call any base class method or any base class constructor from context of derived class method or derived class constructor name. Class name dot method name of self, class name dot init of self. These are the syntaxes for calling superclass methods from derived class overridden methods, overridden constructors. So constructors inherited or not? Inherited. Constructors can be overridden or not? Yes, this property is also is shown you. So with this, our whoops features completed. Our whoops features completed. If you look at our entire concepts, if you look at OOPS features, classes and object, encapsulation and abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism. Message passing is nothing but how to pass the parameters. Already you've seen constructors time and all the time. This was already discussed. It. Positional arguments, default arguments, keyword arguments, variable length arguments, keyword variable length arguments that we used even in our programming also. Classes, total importance, everything systematically. Object, pickling, unpickling, database communication through Python programming. Constructors, types, their importance. Destructor, in garbage collection, abstraction, encapsulation, how we used it, inheritance, whose types. Next, method overriding today. Constructor overriding, similar to that, only the syntax will be changing. How both of them are helpful to achieve the polymorphism, you have seen it. Online students, this concept finishes the topic of what? Oops. And in tomorrow's session, that is a Saturday, I'm going to take up one small topic that is called what date and time concept. I will tell you. Date and time. Date and time concept is important in the programming. That I will explain tomorrow. That is the topic. That module name is date and time module. I will explain Saturday class. That will be done on Saturday. Coming next week level, when we go to next week, is an important Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Monday. Multi-threading will start. Multi-threading. This is the topic with my own interest I am telling to you. This multi-threading is important when you are going to appear for product-based companies. If you go product-based companies, if you go, this questions will be coming. When you are going to service-based companies, multi-threading will not be coming. But I'm not leaving that. I'm going to explain. I'm going to explain with the deadlocks, all those concepts I'm explaining. So that concept will be done in 3 days, which is a module I'm discussing there. Threading module will be coming in front of you. Threading module. And when you go to the project development, the most important topic is that it is there in JavaScript, there in Java, there in C++, there in Python. That is called regular expressions are going to come. Regular expressions topic is going to come. That will be taking 3 more days here. So this is the schedule. With that, our course will be completed. This is called our course Python Module 1. Module 2 is there. That is the NumPy and Pandas will be starting. NumPy and Pandas and then Matplotlib. That will be the module number 2 in the Python. That I will take separately. My batch will start. That time you can attend that class. In that NumPy Pandas, some people outside says NumPy 2 days, Pandas 2 days, Matplotlib 1 day. Within 5 days they are completing. And because of that, Amy Radu. And this NumPy Pandas Matplotlib, I'm always taking always 45 days with the 3 projects I'm going to explain. EDA projects they are called. Completing syllabus 1 day also we can say over. But how deeply we go in the class, that is an important. So this module, after the Python is over in the next week, the next another week, that NumPy another batch. When the batch will be scheduled, you are next week means don't come and ask me, sir, not started. Whenever it starts, you will attend my batch. That time you will come across that modules also. In the day one, I said to you now, module 2, NumPy Pandas programming, that will be separately explaining with towards the data science related. Okay, na? So in the next tomorrow, I will go forward date and time. Monday to Saturday, 2 topics are there: multi-threading and regular expressions. The topics are very, very important. Attend that. So don't miss tomorrow class. Important. Thank you. Carry on. Online students, you hold on if you have any doubts.